This video we're going to be looking at how to make some gloves for your Mandalorian Mercs costume. I'm going with an old pair of gloves that I had that I used for jet skis many years ago when I used to rent jet skis. I haven't used these gloves in quite some time. I just hung on to them for some reason. But what we're going to do is we're going to convert this glove into a glove that we can use with our costume. I'll be showing you how to sew this piece. This is just padded, and it's between two pieces of gray denim. So that I also removed the Velcro strap, and again sewed the seam shut here. I actually pulled this seam, opened it up here so that I could sew this patch on, and then I ran another new seam from the inside. So anyway, again, trying to rush through this to show folks, again, you can convert anything you have to help you finish up your Mandalorian Mercs costume. You don't have to build everything from scratch or buy things that are finished from someone else. Again, like I said, these gloves were laying around. I'd kept them for years in my closet and never really used them for anything else, and decided that that's what I would do, that I would convert these over to my costume. Also, I had some printing on the finger, so I just kind of sanded that off, and when we start weathering these up, no one's even really going to notice that there used to be some, looks maybe like a silkscreen black print on the forefinger. But anyway, like I said, we're going to kind of go through this in sequence. I'll show you how I remove the strap. I'm not going to make you watch every thread or every seam that I popped. However, I am going to show you step by step how we converted from this glove into this one here. So hopefully somebody can find this to be very useful, or they might find some technique or hint, or again, maybe just showing them that they can pretty much build their costume with the things that they have lying around the house. So hopefully you find it enjoyable. Let's get started. So the first thing we do is we remove this Velcro strap. I had thought that I might leave this strap on the glove. However, I found it a little difficult once it was fastened in place. This right here would stick out on my wrist, and this would prevent my gauntlet from fitting correctly. And it would fit, but it would just be a little uncomfortable. This hard plastic piece would rub up against my that small bone there on the outside of my wrist. So I decided I was just going to go ahead and remove that, and since this has an elastic stretch to it, I would just go ahead and just get by without it. So first things first, we're going to remove this. And again, I'm not going to make you watch every seam that I pop. I will probably fast forward through this. But again, this is the first step, removing these seams. So there we have it. Remove this Velcro strap on both sides, and again, this is what we're left with. I'll clean this up a little bit, remove some of the leftover thread, the pop seams, and then the next step is going to be removing this seam here. You'll notice it's folded over on the inside. And then I will go ahead and pop this seam all the way down the inside, which is on the outside of the glove, which is this seam right here. And that will actually free up two sides of this kind of neoprene material. Of course, we want to cover up this World Cup, and we'll be sewing our pad pad on top. It'll cover this World Cup, but again, we'll have two sides showing so that we could put this through the sewing machine a little easier, and we can fix that in place. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, we're going to pop these stitches here on the outside of this open flap. The hardest part is just getting through that back stitch, those last 3 or 4 stitches. Once we get that open, it makes it a little easier. So you'll probably see this fast forward a little bit. Okay, we're back. Finally got through that seam ripping on this outer edge. I forgot the first time I went through that there were 2 rows of stitching on this piece. So I didn't want to make you suffer through fast forward seam ripping on that. But here we are. Again, opened up this entire outside of the glove. Again, that'll give us 2 sides to spin this underneath our sewing machine, so that we can actually sew that pad right here on top. And again, once we're done, we'll turn this inside out and run a line of stitching right along the inside to close this back up again. And then we'll be done. So when you guys come back, you will see us start to work on the gray denim pad that we will go ahead and sew to the top of this glove.